Yeah. So, very glad to welcome Pranav from the Matic team here. He's a blockchain analyst at Matic and has been in the blockchain space since 4 years now. And he's really the right person to speak about everything related to blockchain and especially the interesting use cases that you can use blockchain for, right? So, Pranav, I think we'll start off with a quick introduction about blockchain, Ethereum, and then proceed towards how you can build and scale your dApps, especially with Matic. So, with that, I'd like to hand it over to Pranav.
Sure. Thanks for the great intro, Denver. Um, Really great to be here interacting with you guys. I'm really excited for this event. I am really grateful for Defolio for organizing this event. It takes a ton of work to do these kind of things, and to promote any kind of dev hacks or dev evangelism over the internet, especially in these times. So a big shout out to the InOut team and Defolio team and all. So without a further ado, let's get to the business and start developing, start doing stuff, start talking about the Web3 world from the beginning. Let's go ahead. I am just sharing my screen. If you are able to see the screen, I hope everybody is able to see the screen now, right? There is a beautiful slide that my team has come up with. I hope everybody is able to see that. Right. Let's make it a little interactive as much as possible. I know we are at our homes cozy, but let's make it very very interactive. Whatever time we have, let's try to learn something which might turn up which is going to turn up our future. Let's try to learn something which in a way might is looking very very promising in the coming futures. So what we'll be learning today, we'll be starting with basics of blockchain, why Ethereum is important, why Ethereum is said to be the next internet of blockchains, or let's say the next internet, next breaking thing in the scope of technology. Why is it so? Why are we learning this? And then we'll start, describing Ethereum, try to understand what are the current problems of scalability related to Ethereum, and how Matic as a network has been solving this for about our mainnet went live since July, and we have been thrashing since then. About 120k transactions happening every day on our network. We'll be learning everything. At last, I'll be giving you a hands-on demo. What I would suggest in that hands-on demo would be to you also, just start processing the whole code with me, and let's develop a dApp in this 1 hour itself. So this is a very productive session if you are wanting to learn and charming to learn. So that's all my point is that be focused, try to remain as focused as it is possible for 1 hour, and let's go ahead and thrash this big beast known as blockchain. So without further ado, let's start this session. Again, a big shout out to Matic team and the InOut team for organizing such a beautiful event in InOut, right? So on that note, the first assumption which which I might take in this whole session is some basics of coding like JavaScript or something like that. Any type of coding you understand. Secondly, you understand some npm commands and related things. If you don't, then also it's okay. You need to understand the concept first, so no worries on that. But still, I assume that you know a little bit on that, and you have a fair amount of knowledge on the blockchain. If you don't, then you have to be a little more attentive. No worries. But I just assume that you know a little bit about blockchain, and you know how distributed decentralized world works. So that's all the assumption is. I hope you will enjoy the session. Let's get started. So what we'll be talking about will be, as I told you, we'll be starting with blockchain, then Ethereum, then understanding what is the problem that Matic is solving in the Ethereum ecosystem, which is scalability, and then we'll go ahead and look into the use cases of this particular thing. Like as I told you, NFT, gaming, DeFi. The world is booming right now in the space of blockchain. Right. First of all, why should we? Why when Web 2 world is going great, why do we have to upgrade to Web 3? The answer is very simple: evolution of trust. As Steve Jobs also said once time that technology is not something which can be handicapped or pushed upon the ecosystem. It is something which has to be a natural fit all the time, and blockchain is something which is always a natural fit. Why? Let's understand that. Let's just talk about the human behavior. If you were back in time in the Indian days when we were having taxis, they were all governed and ruled by the Indian government or any government of that kind. Then came some kind of evolution and decentralization of these, taxis and related businesses, and we had these Olas and Ubers and all these private companies having these taxi businesses. Now what blockchain is trying to do is that a driver is there and a person is there, both of them are connected, there is no need of a third party. That is what is evolution of trust, from the centralization to decentralization, and now to distributed decentralization. That's what is internet is currently aiming for, from a very monopolistic world to a very democratic world. That's what blockchain is, that is what is public blockchain is currently aiming for. And that's why, as a tech guy, as a person who is trying to be a part of the fast moving rail of the internet, we have to at least understand what blockchain is. And that's why I told you, be a little more attentive than you are normally, and let's thrash this down. So as I was telling, technology, this is something which is not a very, this is a very natural fit to the world. Why? Because let's talk about fintech, right? For financial world, our computer programming is not meant to handle financial world. Why? Because there is no concept of money in our programming. Let's say I write a JavaScript code, is there a concept of programming or a money? No, we need to have third party APIs and related things to actually come up with those concepts. On the other hand, when we talk about blockchain, when we talk about solidity, when we talk about Ethereum, these people have made a kind of internet in which the language in itself has the encapsulation of something known as crypto, which is a part of the economy of the computer. Right. That's why what I'm talking about is that in the evolution of trust, we are moving from internet being something which is very geeky, only belonging to gamers and related things. Then it is becoming mainstream, and now it is now going to solve the all the problems that the world is currently having. It is going to be mainstream. It is going to be used in every way around. And for that we need change from total something which is displayable internet, which is HTML5, to a interactive internet, which is JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and now to a Ethereum related thing, to a distributed decentralized internet, which is blockchain, my guys. So this is what is all about the blockchain space. I hope you at least now know, or at least have a want to understand and learn this huge, enormous concept of blockchain, which is going to be the next big change in the world. Currently, it is making a lot of impact, but the problem is it is still not affecting the Web 2 world. We need to get more and more people to the Web 3 ecosystem, because it is all about evolution and technology changes that have to be led around. And that's why we have come up with this concept of blockchain. So what is blockchain? Blockchain is a distributed decentralized internet, or in other words, it is a distributed ecosystem in which the database, or let's say the way we interact, is all distributed and not centralized to, or not routed to a central database, right? That is what is blockchain all about. Okay, just for a theoretical information, or just for a theoretical know-how, blockchain is a distributed ledger using consensus based algorithm to come to a single point of truth. Right, that is what is all about. I hope this is very clear and we are good to go. We are very excited and we are learning a lot. I hope that this is what is assumption I'm taking. If there is any point of personal discrepancies, just let us know. We'll definitely help you solve. If I'm going a little fast, also let me know that part. So as I was telling you about blockchain, what is Ethereum? Ethereum is a kind of blockchain, right? And Ethereum is a very big beast in the ecosystem. It is, it is, let's say it is the biggest currently. It is the best blockchain. It is a programmable blockchain. After Bitcoin was not a programmable blockchain. Ethereum is a programmable blockchain, and it is said to be the most secure blockchain because of the nodes available and the Ethereum ecosystem that is around it. We have ETH India. There is a big community, ETH Global, that is there, and it is going to be the most revolutionary thing. And at Matic, what we found was Ethereum is going to be the next big thing, right? So we never ever competed with Ethereum. We found that Ethereum is the next it is the next big technology which is going to be there. It is going to be the pioneer of internet. It is going to be the pioneer of programmable blockchains. So we never competed with them. What we did was used Ethereum and made our infrastructure accordingly. In 2017, back in 2017, when everything was churning up, many people were trying to compete with Ethereum, like I don't want to take names, but we know about them. They were all trying to compete. We found out just for the ecosystem that Ethereum is the right one. It is really correct for the next Web3 thing, but there are certain problems that Ethereum is currently facing, and we Matic wanted to solve that so that there is mass adoption. Mass adoption does not look for technology, it just looks for convenience. We all know about it, right? So with Ethereum, there was a lot of buzz, there was a lot of tech there. That's all good, but there was certain kind of problems that we at Matic solved, so that there is conveyance also, and then there is security also, and then there is evolution also, right? Innovation also, pardon me. Right. So what were the problems? The first problem that internet or the Ethereum blockchain currently faces, if you are into this blockchain space, you already know about it, is the slowness on the transactions. Let's say I do a transaction, I push a transaction, how much time does it take? It takes some time. Whenever there is a big hype or big token launch going to happen, huge amount of time it takes for a transaction to just get processed. Just think about it. Ethereum does 15 transactions in a second, or in a minute, something like that. On the other hand, Visa claims to do 35,000 transactions. Mastercard claims to do 40,000 transactions. How in this Web3 world are we going to compete with Web2 giants like Visa and Mastercard? For that, we need something which is going to increase the throughput of transactions, and that is where our Matic comes into picture. Secondly, high transaction fees. Whenever there is a big boom of decentralized finance, whenever there is, as I told you, token launch and all these lots and lots of mass adoption, we always come up with this particular thing that there is some gas fees that is going to take place. For example, if I'm going to transfer some XYZ amount of DAI to some XYZ person, it is, let's say I'm going to transfer $10 of DAI, it might take $15 of transaction fee. Is that sustainable? Is that something, when we talk about mass adoption, is that something which can be sustainable? The answer is no. Right. So that's where the problem is. That's where the lack is. Low transactions, high transaction fee, and low user experience. Despite the innovation, the big boom that Ethereum is having, the concept that Ethereum is going for, there is a current problem in the Ethereum ecosystem, or let's say in the internet of the blockchain, which is or let's say blockchain in general, is that slow transactions, high transaction fee, and user experience is not so good. And that's where Matic comes into picture. We understood that Ethereum security is very important, Ethereum's ecosystem is very important, Ethereum's community is very important, Ethereum's validation, all those related node things are very important. But these problems, if not solved, might lead to this adoption or related things taking a step back. And that's where Matic comes into picture. Why Matic? Because it solves all the problems. Slow transaction throughput in the blockchain solved by Ethereum, solved by Matic. At Matic, you can we did a Reddit challenge in which we were able to do like transaction throughput is very high. It is very fragile, and we can do transaction fees is very less. For example, for every 10 million transactions, it is just $10, something like that. It is so cheap. Why? Because not cheap, we can say it is very that convenient, and the transactions speed is very high. 70 to 100 TPS is what Matic has been going for since July when it launched. This is the speed that we are rolling about. That is what is the power of Matic. It brings the security of Ethereum with the convenience of Matic. That's what I always quote around. The transaction speed for Ethereum, it is 15 transactions. For Matic, it is 70 to 100 transaction. It is definitely much more scalable, like vertically much more scalable. Transaction fees very small. For every one transaction, 0.00001 dollars, something like that. User experience with network agnostic transactions and related, people might not even think that they are using Web3, but they are. Like IGG currently exported their whole stuff from some other network to Matic, and they are going very well. They had a good amount of user adoption. Why? Because the user experience is very much improved. So it is the security of Ethereum, the innovation of Ethereum, the community of Ethereum, with the convenience of Matic because of the high transaction that we are having. How is it possible? So what is Matic? This is the next question that you might come up with. So how does we use Ethereum but still we are able to do these kind of transactions? This is a very legit question, and I would love to answer that. The answer to this very simply is that Ethereum is a second layer scaling solution. Pardon me, Matic is a second layer scaling solution. Ethereum is the first layer and Matic is a second layer. To just explain you in 1 second, Matic is Ethereum on top of Ethereum. On other words, what we can say is, because scaling is a big problem, how Ethereum has solved it is that we are something which is connected to the Ethereum networks, right? So we can say we can study this diagram to understand that, or let's say every 256 transactions, we are a hybrid plasma POS chain, right? We are hybrid plasma POS, in which we let the developer choose whether he wants to choose for POS or whether he wants to go for plasma. That's what Matic is all about, right? It is a side chain in which developer has the option to choose a plasma chain or a POS chain, right? And how does it function? To understand that how the plasma architecture functions, we can look into this, that so this is what we can say, this is the side chain. This is a side chain, and every 256 blocks, they are checkpointed, Merkle rooted, and they are put towards Ethereum, right? So whenever there is a transaction, let's say a very big transaction, anybody wants to let's say checkpoint or understand whether the Ethereum, or whether the Matic sidechain is going well, or whether the transaction legitimacy is there or not, he can just go ahead and check it on the Ethereum networks using the burn proof, right? To make it much more clear, we can just say that it is the security of Ethereum, because if Ethereum is secure, then Matic remains secure. Because why? Every 256 transactions are checkpointed and put to the Ethereum networks all the time. So whenever a person goes, he can just go ahead and check that whether this particular transaction that happened was legit or not, right? That's why Matic is all about scaling, because this is very vertically scalable. Right now it is 256 blocks, every 256 block checkpointed and put towards Ethereum blockchain. So in a way, we are always in a, what we can say is, every transaction is not put towards Ethereum, which is happening right now in the current. If we directly transact with layer 1, the problem is, every transaction that you do, every time, that has to be circulated to the whole Ethereum ecosystem, right? That might be important, that might not be important, your transaction, and every time it is getting circulated. We saw that in 2017, when some good amount of traction that CryptoKitties got, which was a layer 1 scaling game on the Ethereum first layer. The transaction it got, it just jammed or clogged the whole network, right? And that's why there was a need of second layer scaling solution, and that's where Matic came into picture. So all the transactions that you do are not always put towards, or not directly are put towards layer 1 Ethereum. They are put onto the Matic sidechain, and every 256 blocks, they are joined upon and put at a Merkle root hash, and that hash is checkpointed or put towards Ethereum. So in a way, if you want to check your transaction went right, or if somebody in the future wants to check your transaction was good or not, he can definitely go ahead and look at the Ethereum thing. You can see that that verification is the transaction was legit or not. And that's why there is security of Ethereum with the conveyance of Matic. That's what it all about. Or in other words, what we can say is that Matic is an execution layer, right? Whatever transaction, whatever looping and everything that we want to do are done on the Matic networks using different concepts like POS or Plasma or ZK or Quorum, whatever, whichever way people want to choose, or a developer wants to choose. He can go for POS, he can go for Plasma, and in future we are coming up with newer and much more accepted technologies like ZK or Optimistic and related things, right? That they are definitely coming in the future. So a person can choose how he wants to execute his transaction, and every time the validation is done on the Ethereum main chain. That is what is Matic all about, right? So how is Ethereum scalability problem solved? That every transaction is not put to directly into the Ethereum ecosystem or directly pushed towards layer 1. That might be very congestive. What we have done, we have created execution layer, and every time that execution layer is always in contact with the layer 1 ecosystem. So there is the trust of layer 1, there is the trust of Ethereum with the execution capabilities of Matic. That is what is Matic all about. And with this concept, we are solving the biggest problem in the current blockchain ecosystem, which is scalability. And this is very much proven. You can just go ahead and just go to explorer.matic.network, and you will be able to see on the mainnet what kind of throughput transactions we are able to get, right? About 7200 TPS, 7200 transactions per second is our average throughput, right? With this concept of POS Plasma hybrid sidechain. And I guess this is we always quote that this is the only production ready uh, um, scaling solution that is available right now and for use, and this might increase the adaptability of decentralized application to the web 2 world as well, and as well this might increase the throughput of the web 3 world or the web 3 ecosystem or the dapps who are already there in the web 3 ecosystem, right? So that is what is Matic all about. I hope everybody is able to understand that. Just see this, how many transactions we have done in a day. This is live, you can just go ahead and watch this particular thing. You'll be able to see this is the number of transactions we are doing. So every 2 seconds a new block is produced with the transactions. Every 2 seconds, just this is live. I have not proctored or maintained that. This is what is the capability of Matic, or this is what is the capability of sidechain with the concept of Matic. This is what is all about. That I hope you are very clear with this. And to understand this further, now you might want to know that we are able to develop our dapps very nicely on Ethereum. How do we do that? How we do the same concept? How do we make use of truffle remix and very very nice tools of Ethereum ecosystem, like MetaMask, like Truffle, like Nash, and all these things? Do we have to learn something new for Matic? The answer is no. If you are a Ethereum developer, then you are already a Matic developer. Why? Because at Matic we already well, first of all, we are very supportive of the Ethereum ecosystem. We think it is the next big thing, and things like that. And we believe that for to increase the developer evangelism and related things, people need to be very very easily able to migrate from Ethereum to Matic, because the Matic sidechain is an EVM compatible chain, right? So whatever works very nicely on Ethereum also works very nicely without any changes, or with just of 1 or 2 RPC changes on the Matic networks as well. So if you are already a Solidity developer doing really really good awesome building awesome stuff on the Ethereum networks, you can do that without a blink on the Matic networks as well, with just by changing 2 or 3 lines of code. Why? Because Matic sidechain is the EVM or Ethereum virtual machine compatible chain. So whatever works on Ethereum also works on Matic, right? So you can just see the comparison and try to understand, Ethereum 13 transactions, on the other hand Matic 65k transactions, something like that. The transaction cost very very comparable, like there's a big change. So this is what is all about. And all the toolings, we in the practical example, you will understand that I'll be using remix only, I'll be using truffle only, but still instead of deploying on Roston or related, I'll be deploying on Matic, and it will be much more faster, right? It will be with the speed of thunder, right? Something like that, so to say. This is what is Ethereum all about. So just to understand, because of our first of all developer friendliness, developer first approach, scalability, and related things, we were able to in these since Matic has been existing, we are growing at a very fast pace. About 40k plus members we have at Telegram, 57k plus followers on Twitter, and they are ever growing, something like that. All the wallet addresses, 145k plus wallet addresses created, 1 million plus transactions done since our mainnet was live, which was in July or something like that, July first week, right? And about if you go ahead and you can just check Dapp radar, and you will be able to find the dapps already deployed on Matic. We are one of the first second layers who are actively showing what dapps are already developed, and what dapps are taking advantage of the second layer scaling. What are the dapps that are taking advantage of the low fees and the high transaction throughput that are there in the Matic. So that's why why developers love Matic. I've already told you about that it is we have a developer first approach. You can just directly go ahead and ping me at the rate Pranav Matic, and I'll love to answer all your questions, all the things that you are facing right now. We can create a group. We have Muskan, I guess, who always takes care of all the developer evangelism related things. We have some accelerative programs, and we always love to give grants to people who are really promising and working hard on their concept of decentralized application development. So that's why developers love Matic. And of course, the best part about this is, if you are already an Ethereum developer, you're already a Matic developer. You just have to change some RPCs and you're good to go. right? I cannot help us emphasize more to that. So Solidity works fine, JavaScript works fine, Ganache works fine, Truffle works fine, Remix works fine. Everything is good to go. Just the thing is, you need to have that intent to just porting your stuff from the Ethereum to Matic. Just 2 to 3 changes, and that's what we'll be learning now. So this is the time for demo, guys. Just if you are if you are currently listening to me live, then just this is the time you open your laptops and start developing with me. Okay, so I'm giving you a link. This is the code that you have to just go ahead and copy. It is just a small Ethereum snippet, Solidity snippet. You can just go ahead. I can, where do I paste this? Okay, so direct message. Okay, so this is I don't know. So this is where you have to go. Just open this particular snippet, and you'll be this is the code that you have to copy and use. So we'll be going, first of all, we'll be doing 2 demos. Firstly, on first demo will be on Remix, and the and we'll be deploying using our very basic MetaMask Remix. We'll be deploying and compiling and deploying our things on the Matic networks. And the second demo that we'll be doing will be for Truffle, right? Whenever we are trying to make the whole decentralized application. If you don't know Remix, if you don't know Truffle, don't worry. Today you'll learn. Don't worry on that part. Okay. So on that note, let's get started. I'm trying to message. Let me just ping it to Denver. I hope he can.
You can. There's a session tab actually. You can put it there.
Oh, is it done?
Here you should be able to. Yeah, you can type it in here.
Okay, so I pasted it. You can just go ahead and copy the code snippet from there, and we are good to go. Let's go to Remix and deploy. If it is your first app on the Matic, it will be very fun, right? You'll be able to understand the power of Matic. Just changing the few RPC URLs, and instead of deploying on lazy Ethereum networks, you are on the scalable Matic networks with, of course, the power of Matic Ethereums, right? So let me just let's open hello Matic smart contract. This is the name. So what is Remix? Remix is a online code compiler. You can just come here and compile your code, deploy your things over here. And Solidity, it is a great concept, and a huge bonus for all the people who are new to this ecosystem, because it is very easy to deploy or compile your code over here, right? So what I'll do, I'll just go here, copy the code, paste it over here, right? And see if it is going well. Okay, wait. It is compiling, I guess. Yeah. So second thing that you have to do is go on auto compile, right? Click on this auto compile. If everything is cool, it will say yes, it is quite well. Now, first of all, we'll be deploying on Ropsten networks. If you are a developer on the Ethereum ecosystem, you know what is Ropsten and related things. I'll not be covering that. So I have first of all downloaded MetaMask already there, which is a Web3 plugin, right? It is a Chrome plugin. You can just directly go here and deploy your things. So I am on MetaMask right now, and I'm on the Ropsten networks, right? First of all, so this is the Ropsten networks. I come here and I have 1.xyz ETH. Now I want to deploy my contract on the Ethereum networks. Let me do that. Very, very easy, right? I go here, I deploy, click on deploy. See, change to inject Web3. Okay, I'm on Ropsten now. I click on deploy. MetaMask pops up. So I'm able to deploy my contract. We can see that over here on Etherscan. All right. Yeah, see, this is pending and it will take some time. Why? Because this is Ethereum ecosystem. It takes a little time to actually, if you are on mainnet, it might take even more time. So once it is deployed, we'll be able to see here. So let me type HELLO. Okay, I think you'll not be. Let me just increase the font size a little. Yeah, now it might be visible. See, I type in hello. I click on, okay, I click on this. Again, MetaMask pops up. I have to confirm this and let again the transaction or the slow blockchain take its way. So that's why what I'm talking about, user experience is not that great, right? We have always have to wait for the transactions to get confirmed, and then we are able to, let me just Pranav, my name is Pranav, by the way. So yeah, confirm. Again, I'm right now on the Ropsten, which is a testnet of the Ethereum ecosystem, right. So let's just, again, we have to wait for this to get confirmed. Till then it will only show hello, right? I have to wait for this to get confirmed, and then I'll be able to, do the transaction, which is not sustainable when we talk about the real world. How will we, compete with Web 2.0 dApps when this is the kind of experience we are getting? And that's where Matic comes into picture. Let's now try to deploy this dApp only on the Matic ecosystem. What do we have to do? First of all, we have to go to this thing. Let me just open the full screen if possible. Expand view. Yeah. Okay. So here I am. I'll just click on custom RPC. Right here, Matic test net. Right. Go on RPC. So this is what, this is the RPC that we have to use for Matic networks. We can find that easily in Matic docs. They are really well written docs. You should, if you are a programmer, you will very easily be able to understand this. So this is where we have to go, and I'm just copying the thing, right? This is the RPC URL that I have to copy. I've copied that and I've pasted it here. What is the chain ID? Chain ID is 8,001. Let me just paste the 8,000 this ID. This is not compulsory, but I'm giving it because Matic is great. So yeah. So that's why. Done. Save it, and we are good to go, guys. Yeah. So I have shifted to now Matic networks, right? I've shifted from Ropsten networks, which was on layer one Ethereum, very, very slow, to Matic networks, which is very, very, scalable and fast. Very in just one, I guess, once 5 seconds or 10 seconds, so to say, not to very much brag about it. So yeah, now shifted to Matic networks. Let's just open this and see if you are on Matic testnet. Okay, we are on Matic testnet now, and let's now try to get some faucets. Right here, we just have to FAU faucets. Yeah, these are the faucets. We can just go here and take some faucets like we do it on the Ropsten networks as well. I'm pasting the link for all you guys. Just go ahead and do it. Yeah, so this is the faucet thing. Just write your address, click on Matic tokens, click on this thing, copy paste it and submit it, and you'll be able to get some good 0.1 Matic, right, which will be there. Just confirm it and you'll be able to get it, right? Confirming, and you are good to go. Yeah, so this is all about it. Let me just open. So here I have this amount of Matic testnet, Matic, and now I'm going to deploy my smart contract that I have created on the Ropsten, sorry, Matic networks, without just doing anything else, without doing anything very external or something like that. So the same procedure. I am over here. I have to auto compile. I am going to go here and change it to inject Web3, right? Custom 8001. Yeah, the same contract. I have to be on. Okay. Yes, this is the one, 0xBBB, BCCC, BC74. Yeah, this is the address. Now let's deploy, confirm, and just see in a second it will get deployed. This is the power of, Matic network. See, so easily and so fast without, without even, let's say I write here, Pranav, right? I write it here. Again, I have to just confirm in 1 second and I'll be good to go. So this is the kind of user experience we want, and the gas required is also very, very less. I don't think it is right now showing, but it is definitely very less. See, I just click here and I'm able to do it. So it is just in a break of second, 70 to 100 TPS, guys, right? Matic, I just deploying in just a blink of eye, we are able to deploy, right? See, so I've just clicked on update and it will be updated. See, done. So this is what is the power of Matic, right? Scaling Ethereum with the use of Matic sidechain, while there is definitely the trust of Ethereum, and increasing the usability of the blockchain ecosystem, and also not changing any code snippet. Did I change any part of this particular thing? Did I even touch the solidity code? No. Why? Because Ethereum is something like Matic is something which is totally EVM compatible. If you are already developing solidity, you can develop on Matic. Just change the network and you'll be good to go. See, this is the power of Matic. Now I'll be doing the same for the Truffle thing. If you are not very aware of Truffle, what is Truffle? Truffle is a tool to make decentralized applications. So here just solidity code is written. Right now, if we want to make a whole decentralized application, that's where Truffle comes into picture. That's where Truffle is going to get used, right? So let's just go to Truffle. If you have not downloaded Truffle as of now, I'll just give you one command, and then also it is very easy. Npm install -g. uh, Let me increase the size, try to increase. Yeah, I hope it is visible now. Truffle. So this is what you have to do if you have not downloaded Truffle. I have already downloaded, so I don't have to do that again. I'll paste the command over here. Npm i-g Truffle. So you need to have that node and npm pre-installed for that, right? So once Truffle is installed, let's just go to desktop. Let's make a folder mkdir in Matic is awesome AWESOME. Right, let's just go inside that folder, which is already definitely true since we have been. So yeah, now what I'll do, I'll unbox a Truffle pre-compiled a folder. Truffle unbox meta coin, right? So now we have deployed on Remix. Now we are doing the same thing with Truffle, right? Truffle is something we use for uh, uh, Truffle is something we use for let's say these kind of applications in which we need to make the whole decentralized application, right? We need to make the front end as well, and that's where we use it. So Truffle has let me just show you directly without talking much. Let me just directly show you. So in Truffle we'll have contracts, and when we do some commands, they'll already be compiled and made into build folder, right? So we'll be able to use these solidity files to directly go ahead. So what is Truffle? Truffle is a tool to connect to web3 using our local environments, right? Yeah, so this is where it is. See, this is the given contracts, right? And then we can make our own, we have a folder in which we can directly make applications. So front end, back end, all that can be made into that, right? Because we have package.json and related things over here. That's what that's not right now what I can cover, but that's all, right? So this is Truffle. Let me just try to deploy a decentralized application using Truffle as well directly, without using, right now I'm not using anything, right? Directly I'll be doing it on the local networks, and then I'll be doing the same for on the Matic networks, right? If you are already aware of Truffle, then it's good. If you're not, don't worry, you'll learn in this whole thing as well. Let's go to the first uh, okay, currently it is loading, I guess. Yeah, first of all, let me just save it, make it 8545, saved. Okay, Ganesh CLI. See, first of all, I have to run a local blockchain now, right? So I run this local blockchain and I have to compile these contracts. So right now Remix was doing it for me on the web front end. Now I'll be doing it for using the local environment. See, I've created this local blockchain, 10 addresses, 10 things like that, 10 nodes, so to say. Very easy. Now I'm going to the now I'm going to deploy using my local environment, right? Using the Truffle tool, right? This is deployed Ganache using Ganache CLI. Now I'm going to Truffle. Now I'm going to deploy these contracts, right? Which I deployed using MetaMask. I'm going to do the same with this, right? With Truffle, which I deployed, pardon me, using Remix. I'll be doing the same with the Truffle thing, Truffle tool, right? I'll just go to Truffle, compile first, COMPILE. Right now I'm doing it for the local networks, right? Okay, so there is this TRUFFLE, COMPILE. So it will compile and then we'll migrate, right? Yeah, the contracts are compiling. All right, done. Now I'll Truffle migrate. Okay, so this way I'll be able to, so see right now I have given Truffle migrate, and see right now there's no transactions. Once the migration is done, we'll see some transactions happening on the blockchain, because this is a local blockchain as of now. See, transactions done, right? Because there is a migration happening. See, so all the three contracts were deployed on the local networks. Okay, so they were deployed. Now I'll be doing the same for the Matic networks, right? So let's just go ahead on the documentation. I'll just go to Truffle. See, I'll just change few lines of our particular thing, and it will be done without any big things, right? Okay, my laptop got hanged. Come over here. Okay, so let me go to Truffle and just I have to just copy this code snippet, paste it over here, and we'll be good to go. All right, just uh, let's just copy this code snippet, paste it over here. All right,
Pranav, your screen is not visible actually.
which are you able to see, like were you able to see some VS code, like hello? My screen is shared actually. Okay, okay, again visible, right? Okay, good. All right, nothing visible after Truffle migrate. Oh my god. Anyways, using Truffle migrate I was able to do it. Now what I've done, I've made this Matic thing, right? And I've copied it from the documentation. Just have to change the RPC URL and everything else is good to go. Just have copied this, and again I'm going to just do it using Matic. So just I have to change Truffle config, and again I'll be able to deploy on the Matic networks as well, right? All right, let's just wait for this actually the file to get downloaded, and then we'll be good to go. So in that meanwhile I'll just use some random mnemonic. Normally this is the env folder. Okay, I'm not making it very complex, so I'm just making some xyz mnemonic right now. Let's just make it a b c x y z. This is normally the the MetaMask mnemonic that you'll be using. So Don't just directly copy it. You can just directly go here, go for MetaMask, and copy the mnemonic from there. All right. So I'm not exposing that right now. So I've just made a dummy thing. Right. Now let me just go back to Truffle. Let's go here and let's just migrate to Matic using Truffle commands only. Right. So this is all. Truffle migrate, and this should be good to go as well. So using the same config file, using the same contract code, again using the same everything, I am able to deploy on the local networks as well using this particular thing, and on the Matic networks as well, just changing a few lines of code. Right, just by changing a few lines of code, I am able to do it. Right, so that is what is this particular thing all about. That's why let's say EVM is, or let's say Matic is so loved by developers, so to say, and that's why we are making huge progress. Like in just from July, we have onboarded 50, 60 plus projects, and we are doing awesome on the gaming side and the DeFi side as well. When it comes to bounties or dev programs, we have our own program which is known as the Build and Earn program, in which we not just give the grant support, or the, let's say, the grant support, or the tech support, but we also help them market the whole decentralized application. So a person comes with a raw idea and he is able to develop the code, develop the whole decentralized application in 1 month. In between, there are some marketing and related things happening, marketing activities going on for that decentralized application, and there are a lot of related things happening for this particular thing, and VC funding and how to generate all that. So that particular decentralized application is groomed in that program, and at last we provide him with the funding that happens with that program happens in collaboration with the Gitcoin, and we are able to provide that particular decentralized application with funding, as well as a good amount of marketing support, so that he's able to do pretty well. That particular decentralized application is able to do well, because at Matic we also always believe in the developer first approach, and that's what has been always the motive. So there are a lot of decentralized applications, and Def is currently building on Matic, and we for InOut, to be very particular, we have some grants. We have about 15,000 1,500 worth. Let me just give you the blog link. We have $1,500 worth prizes up for grab, right? And so this is, I'm just opening it. And they are in the gaming NFT ecosystem. If you build a decentralized application in the gaming aspect or the NFT aspect, that's one of the things. Like if you make something in the prediction markets right now, poly markets, if you have heard about it, did very well. It had a lot of mass adoption. It got a shout out from Vitalik himself, and he also mentioned that Matic is going so great, it is going crazy, it is blowing apart, and I cannot, so $10 million worth USD was transferred here there in just one day. And so this is a prediction market on the crypto economics, and it is built upon Matic. So you can also build something like that, a prediction market. We have one of that category. The second one is gaming or NFT. You can build something in the gaming or NFT, non-fungible token aspect. And the third one will be open track. This is where you can use your own imagination and build something. I hope that is not a voting app. I just hope that. Just kidding. I hope you are able to use your own imagination, build something crazy out of the blockchain, using Ethereum, using the decentralized aspect of this particular ecosystem, and you are able to build something out of that. So I wish you all the luck, and $1,500 are up for grab. If you want to contact me, if you are facing any technical issues related to Matic networks, you're not able to deploy, there is some problems, there are some issues happening, you can directly just contact me on Telegram, Pranav Matic. This is my Telegram handle.
Yeah. Thanks, Pranav, for that quick pace
Mhm.
session, and it was certainly useful. And even I tried to code along for a while as well until you know,
Things got a little crazy.
yeah, it did. But we have a question here that I think you can take up. So Akhil asks, how can we make dApps for mobile using Matic?
The process remains the same. Like, if you are making your Android studios and using Android Studio, using that Java framework, and you are making your decentralized application, it's the process remains the same. Just the thing is, you have to change the RPC URL, nothing else. So the process remains the same. Just use that. Or else, if you are already, in this ecosystem, making your own good applications, then I would suggest make a wallet inside that application, right? So the person doesn't even know that he's using he's like collaborating, or contacting the blockchain. Make it that seamless, right? So you can integrate a wallet inside your application, right, and use the Matic framework on that part, right? So there is this particular IgG, which has already done that, right? Native wallet integration, you can do that, and it would be good. Yeah. Anything else, guys?
So I don't think there are any questions for now.
Hmm.
I think the rest of the questions you're already on the Discord.
Yeah.
Probably can take them up here.
Yeah.
Again, thanks
Mhm.
a lot, Pranav, for joining us today. It
Sure, it
was a
was
pleasure having you.
great fun.
Yeah,
Hope to do more such sessions, just to increase the level of blockchain adaptation in India, very specifically.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.